I'm an intellectual property lawyer at Waterfront. Some of you will have had the pleasure of meeting a couple of my colleagues, Philip and Fifi, if you were hanging around for surgeries earlier. If not, then we're going to be here afterwards as well, probably downstairs in the bar. So yeah, come and grab one of us then. There's also my colleague Alison, who's from the commercial team. So there's a couple of us here tonight to chat with you. And I just wanted to take a couple of minutes now to explain a little bit about intellectual property and what we do and why intellectual property is kind of a really vital thing for a startup. So first off, what is intellectual property? Well, essentially, it's an umbrella term for several different legal rights, which all attach to kind of creative output. So for many, if not all businesses within the tech and creative sectors, it's going to be the cornerstone of the value in your business and your proposition, the service, the product that you offer. It really articulates your commercial difference from your competitors, and identifying and protecting that intellectual property can help to really add value to your fledgling business. So to move on to a couple of different types of intellectual property that you'll come upon. The swoosh is representing trademarks, and those are the legal protection for your brand, which includes your kind of name, the logo. It doesn't go to protect the underlying product or service that you're offering. What it does is create a badge of origin to identify your business to your consumers and to help build a kind of trust. So, for example, when you see the swoosh, you know that the product it's on, whether it's a trainer or a piece of clothing, is a Nike product. You know that there's a certain quality that you're associating with that. The next image is familiar to some of you, I'm sure, in terms of it's just an image to signify computer code, which is protected by copyright. And copyright also protects the expression of creative output, whether that's kind of written fixed specifics. So we're talking about things as broad as code that we've got there, but also kind of literature, sort of books, plays, and music and art are also covered. And I think if you remember one thing about copyright, it's something that arises automatically. There's no registration process. And its first owner will generally be the person who actually creates the copyright work. If you are someone who is commissioning someone else to write the code in your app, if that you've got the business, that you've got the idea but you don't have the technical nous to do it, then you won't necessarily be the person who owns copyright in that code. It will generally accrue to the developer. So if that's your situation, you just need to be starting to think about kind of contracts and who needs to be owning what right at the outset of your business. And obviously that's something that we can absolutely help with, and we'd love for you to come and chat to us about that later. Finally, and signified by the image of the Dyson, is patents. Just a quick mention, and something that's for inventions that are novel, they're new, they're nowhere else in the world. And so parts of Dyson cleaners have got that. But, I'm sure you've all heard this before. They are things which can be difficult and expensive to get, and that is definitely true. And it's also true that they can be particularly difficult if you're in the kind of software sector. So that's not a reason not to at least explore it. If you've got a great idea that's completely different from anything else that's out there already, you may want to take a quick minute to chat to a patent attorney or one of us to see if there's something you can do in terms of patents. But don't get disappointed if you can't. There are other things. So why, £65.6 billion is the estimated amount of money that was spent on intellectual property in the UK in 2010. Well, the reason why businesses are going to invest in it and why you should be thinking about it is that it's something that helps fix an intangible. It takes that business idea into a tangible product, a tangible thing that can be bought and sold, like a trademark, like a patent, like a bundle of copyright work. And so it's something that investors will be interested in to see that you've got, and by investing in your intellectual property and by protecting it, you give other people confidence to invest in your product. And finally, why should people talk to Waterfront as opposed to any other lawyers about this? Well, we're specialists in technology sector. That's what we were set up to do. We're startup friendly. I mean, we were set up in 2002, which for a lot of people will seem like a very, very long time ago. In the legal world, that's a relatively young firm, so we consider ourselves not that far away from being a startup ourselves. And then finally, we have a special offer for you guys. There's a bunch more information on our website at the link on the bottom here, and one of those things is a downloadable white paper which includes a bunch of questions for an intellectual property audit to help you understand what you have in terms of intellectual property in your business proposition and where you're missing, where there are gaps. And we're offering a service in terms of reviewing that for you and then advising you on that for just a fixed price, which is, I believe it's £199 plus VAT, which, while still a decent chunk of cash, is a lot less than this would typically cost. Many of these things take quite a few hours to put together, and will cost upwards of £800 to £1,000 typically. So it's a good deal, we think, and we hope that some of you will take us up on it. But equally, we're around and we'd love to have a chat with you later. So yeah, those are our contact details. Please do. Thank you.